Hello, everyone. My name is Dio Morales, host of the Gold Squadron podcast. This is round 3 of the 2.0 threat event. I'm going to be updating our names here. We have here Chris Allen of the Carolina Crates versus Andrew Bunn of the, where is he from? He's from Portland? Seattle? I always think they're in the same state. He's in one of those places. He's an Oregon, Washington area System Open champion guy. And they are both playing the exact same list. We did have the initiative roll already. And it was determined that Andrew is going to be the first player. He's the one that has initiative. We're going to have to update that token picture here pretty soon. I didn't have that. I will say that I absolutely love Chris Allen's tokens. I'm going to try to get my hands on some of those giant charges and shields for the stream because I think they look great and it's really easy to see what is what. So we're going to get health all updated here. Before we go too far, I do need to say thank you to Curled Paw Creatives for sponsoring our stream today. You can go to curledpawcreatives.com to see all the awesome swag that he's putting together. Really great third-party acrylics. You got templates, you have tokens, and we have a Gencon exclusive, Gold Squadron podcast exclusive coupon code. It is Gencon18 to get yourself $10 off of a $50 order, and this coupon starts tomorrow. So you can get like a full set of templates, a full set of the tokens plus the unit markers and the single turrets and double turrets and the target locks all for $45 using that coupon. It's a great deal. And again, go to curledpawcreatives.com. Thank you so much for your support. So Vader has 3 hull, 2 shields. Obsidians have 3 hull, no shields. Go on the other side. 3 hull, 2 shields, and the Obsidian has 3 hull. Go ahead and get some of these markers updated. So if you're not familiar with this format, we are currently playing the dropped shipments scenario that is part of this 2.0 launch that FFG is doing. We are in round 3. We have normal setup, standard setup for rocks. The new added twist here, you see some face down tokens being placed by the players, and these need to be range 1 apart from each other and any other ship. And essentially, when a ship runs over them, it gets attached to their ship. They become quote-unquote blue tokens, and they don't leave until the player spends them. And essentially, what you're looking to do here is line up, charge up your best ship, which for both of these guys is going to be Vader, and just roll in there with all the tokens and just feeling good about it because you got all the mods. So there's Vader, and we got to mark the Obsidian as well. There we go. Look through this stuff. Oh. All right. Yes.
Attention X-Wing players. Round 3 has begun.
All right.
Round 3 has begun.
They have started the timer
This
here.
round will end at 9:34.
So rounds for this scenario are only 60 minutes. And, you know, most likely...
After that, after the round, you may leave. That will be it for the day. Thank you all for participating in the second edition preview event.
Yep, this is round 3. 3 of 3 for today. So as we get started here, I'm really glad that we can get Chris Allen and Andrew Bunn here, 2 high-level players showing us their skills here in X-Wing 2nd Edition. Both of them very excited about the amount of maneuverability and flexibility that you do get in Vader. It does take some good decision-making on when to use that afterburners on Vader. I just realized I have to update the shield because the shield upgrade messed that up earlier. Let's go ahead and do that. So Vader is on 3 shields on both sides. So that TIE Fighter did a focus action, very loud focus action. And Vader, of course, going very fast, 5 straight, picking up 2 tokens along the way. And it looks like he's got a free evade token, and there was a second one there as well. Maybe it just got shoved to the side. There it is. So double evade on Vader. And Vader lining up that new 2nd edition barrel roll with the center line and going as far forward as possible to collect that next token. Vader gets double focus on that first pass. So both these guys' openings quite similar with their Vader play collecting all 2 tokens, going to get the 3rd one here. I will say that most likely this game will go to time. That's my guess. We'll see how it happens. So dials get set here. So, you know, I want to talk about some engagement lanes before we get too far into this. We'll go ahead and pull up a red marker here. So one interesting thing to notice that's different about the play for both these gentlemen is Chris decided to face his TIE Fighter in this direction, so it's following behind Vader, while Andrew is facing in an opposite direction. While I really doubt that he's going to leave that TIE Fighter out to dry, you know, Andrew is more kind of set up in a 50-50 position with that. You know, he can choose to either go to the left or to the right. This though is a no-go. I don't think that he should be headed down the board. Most likely should be staying by Vader. And there he goes. So barrel rolling back. Now staying close. And Chris deciding to keep his TIE Fighter a little bit of a looser formation. Also barrel rolling back. Has a little more space behind his Vader than Andrew had. This is going to come down to an engagement where the players might be able to get, you know, either or one of their ships in arc and range of 2 of the other ships. Like that's really something that can really swing the game into one direction or the other.
That was the whole point of them. You could shuffle them and just pick a random objective that you wanted to do that. I like that a lot. So we will update for second edition. We just technically can't tell all the rules or not. It's actually getting close now because I wouldn't know how to update it.
All right, so there's the 3-bank barrel roll. So Chris is in a position now where, again, he can choose his engagement lane. He has plenty of space to try to get through that lane. Those tokens are ridiculous. Or he can decide to go around here. You know, games like this are usually decided by a mistake, you know. So we'll see if either of them leaves a ship out to dry. And I mean, with both of these having triple modifications that are stuck on, plus the force. I mean, these Vaders aren't going to take damage, but managing those resources is going to be important. So with that K turn, Vader, we're probably going to see Andrew converge. Something like this. He has to make a decision whether or not he's going to want to come through the rocks or not. Sorry, let's go ahead. Come through the rocks. So we might have a confrontation here or here. I think that this is what we're going to be looking at. You know, one of these two zones. Both these Vaders are extremely maneuverable, so being able to get through those rocks is not a problem for either of them, and they both have the player skill to do it as well. So definitely not worried about that. Comes a TIE Fighter. Just trailing behind Vader. He's the backup. Oh, Chris. Oh, Chris. On stream. Cheating on stream by knocking ships around. But Chris Allen's a good buddy of mine. Just giving him a hard time. Before we go too far, I do want to say thank you to all of our Twitch Prime subscribers. Thank you for taking the time to click that. It's literally free money. Helps support the channel. Goes a long way. Just coming together. But cannot overstate how important our patrons are. They're the largest groups of people that make Gold Squadron podcast possible. Without them, I could not travel the country bringing you guys all this content. If you want to get awesome swag while supporting our content, you can go to patreon.com/Gold Squadron. Thank you to everybody who has done that. You guys are awesome. All right, so looking at the board state here, I mean just from angles of ships, looks like we're most likely going to be engaging here. You know, less experienced players might leave this TIE Fighter out to dry in that engagement spot, but we're probably going to end up seeing just a 2 forward and barrel roll back out of that TIE Fighter. I think it's the safest thing. Both these players are going to want to make sure that when they do meet, which again I do think this is the proving ground right there. When they do meet in range, they want both their ships to be in range of a single. But if they're both working to that, most likely we'll just be trading shots. So Vader using that 1 forward, brand new 1 forward, nice and shiny. Never before used. He does have supernatural reflexes, so he can barrel roll left or right before he hits that rock. So he's deciding to pre-barrel roll instead of doing the focus. That Obsidian at the top here, you know, usually when we think of TIE fighters kind of being in a list like this where you have an ace plus maneuverable blockers, you wanna just stick that TIE fighter in there and try to just be in the way and try to deny actions. The issue is with Supernatural Vader, it's essentially an advanced sensors. You can do a boost or a barrel before, by spending a force charge before you review your dial. So that just allows you to get out of so many different spots. The catch there is if the action you do, the booster barrel, is not on the action bar, you do lose, you do take a damage. So we're just we're waiting for our next move. Got dials down. All right, so we're waiting for our next roll off here. So again, it's going to come down to this opening engagement. See how many of these tokens we can rip off of both of these Vaders. All right, Andrew Bunn getting a little more aggressive than I thought he would. Looks like a 4 forward. Probably going to see Vader come in here as well. So there, looks like they might be engaging a turn sooner than I thought it's going to be happening. If Chris did overextend Vader here, he might hit multiple shots on Darth Vader from Andrew's Vader and Obsidian. So reveals the dial. There's the 5 forward. Yeah, so Andrew is looking to make that the kill zone right there for Vader. He's got a pretty wide net going right here. So you have this line coming this way, and the TIE fighter extends somewhere over here. I think that's a pretty wide amount of space to avoid. You got this and that. I think that's Vader, unless he did 1 forward, most likely will be shot this turn. So looks like Andrew is deciding to use auto thrusters. Excuse me, not auto. It's auto thrusters pictures. What is afterburners? Using afterburners to get an additional boost by spending a charge. So 1 of those are down. 1 out of 2. And target locking for the action. He's debating spending a force to do an additional action. He is. And he is getting a focus. So now he has one permanent focus until spent, 2 permanent evades still spent, and focus that must go away at the end of the turn if not spent. Lots of mods going on over there. We'll go ahead and bring these more to where they need to go. So Chris debating his options here with his supernatural reflexes. Just really depends on how fast he went. One strategy that some newer players aren't aware of is, or just don't think of, is sometimes if you can set up a bump on purpose to take away a shot from an enemy, that can put you in a good spot. Just, you know, not getting shot by more ships is good. So flips the dial. Looks like it's a 3-bank. We're spending a force after revealing to do a barrel roll. You have to start in the middle. He's going what looks to be as forward as possible. 3-bank. Vader does have cluster missile, and both ships are at range 1 of each other. So that cluster missile, the second part of that text, where you can perform a special attack against another enemy ship at range 1, can happen. Chris and Andrew debating what's the right choice. Just get some points while he can. I mean, he's not going to do damage to Vader. Not behind that wall of tokens. And it is, we've gotten to the engagement phase. You guys are the worst. Get it out of the dice box. So 2 hits and a crit. Using the force to modify that. You know, these are my buddies, so I'm gonna go straighten them out real quick. Give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. So looks like we're back at dials. Nothing took damage. Don't think. Chris Allen just memeing the dial gate. Having that advance I'm sorry, I keep calling it advanced sensors. The supernatural reflexes does give Vader a lot of flexibility. I mean, that's the joke there, right? It's like, does it really matter what I put on the dial? Because I can adjust it. But of course, it does. You want to, you know, have the correct options available, not just any option. Like that's not quite that's not quite how it goes. So Obsidian is going to be moving first on Andrew's side. So it looks like dials are set. We're just waiting for Obsidian to move. Chris's Vader is down 1 force. And there is Andrew's Obsidian coming 4 straight. Just trying to muck up the works. Throws on a focus token. Vader 4 straight. Aggressive. Oh, look, might be a K turn. Nope. So it looks like Andrew is making an attack run here on Chris's Obsidian. Switching that lock. Debating right now. He does have the opportunity to use Darth Vader's ability to spend a Force token to use to do an additional action. There he is, flipping the Force to take a focus. As a reminder, the Force does regen every turn at the end phase. So attempting the barrel roll, doesn't fit. So using the 2 straight sideways essentially shows you where the end of the base would be. You got your 1 speed plus the width is also the width of a 1 speed of the base. So you use the 2 to just quickly check without moving the ship. It's also a soft range check. I mean, range 1 is 2.5 base lengths. So just I mean, I can't quite say that it's wrong, but it's another way to visualize things like that. Okay, so it looks like Vader supernatural boost. Yeah, supernatural boost, which will cause Vader to lose a shield. As you saw that Chris move that out of the way. He's going to supernatural reflexes, it looks like. He's flipping the Force there. Let's get this all sorted out. That's there. That's there. There it is. So Vader still has his bajillion tokens. There we go. And he's effectively gotten behind the TIE Fighter there. There's 4 dice with Vader, advanced targeting computer. Spends the focus that doesn't get to stay at the end of the round. That's going to be 4 hits. Then you use advanced targeting computer to change the hit to a crit. rolls to evade. It's going to be hit crit. And the crit is major hull breach. So major hull breach says everything's face up. It doesn't matter. That's why Chris is just going to go ahead and flip that face down, because the next hull damage is dead. So Vader firing range 2 here. Hit crit. Fire control, that turns into a crit. All right, has a focus, takes no damage there. Let's go ahead and correct that obsidian. Should be at 1 hull. Here's obsidian on obsidian action. They will have simultaneous fire. It's 1 hit coming into the TIE fighter. Safe. And return shot, spends a focus. Safe. All right, so Chris on the losing side of that exchange there, getting 2 damage on his TIE fighter. So let's talk about, look at some engagement lanes here again. So right now, if you look at, you know, Chris essentially was able successfully to do a pincer here on that TIE fighter. Was able to, I mean, Andrew was able to avoid taking damage, you know, good dice plus modifications. He was effectively able to do a pincer on that TIE fighter. The issue with this is when you're not successful, when you don't kill a ship or seriously hurt it, it's no longer afraid. It's not in a running position. You know, a hurt ship might try to do something like disengage and get out while Vader, you know, turns around and tries to deal with the enemy. It's going to be in the way. You have the possibility for the hard-won barrel roll, just trying to get in the way. Especially Chris is stressed, so no actions right now. That could be a very strong move. The 1 forward is on the advanced style, but it is not green. As for Andrew's Vader, I mean, the K-turn is probably not a bad idea, just to set up some passes. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw K-turns out of both of them. But we're gonna have to see what Andrew does. I'm really curious to see what this TIE fighter does. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, because even if it did something like a 1 hard and then barrel rolled, I don't think it has enough space to block the 4K. I think I do think it gets past. So that doesn't super matter, especially with the supernatural reflexes. I mean, you have that barrel roll where you can just, you know, move to either direction and then get the K-turn. It's very good. So again, I don't think Chris's best choice is the block here. I think it's more about trying to either use that obsidian as bait, say, hey, shoot me instead of Vader, and give Vader another turn without being shot at, or possibly, you know, it could do a K-turn of its own, disengage, and maybe get a shot. Sorry, not disengage. Do a K-turn and get a shot before it dies, or do something like a 5 forward and you know, get your focus on and run away. Take a couple of turns off. Let's go ahead and update those shields on Vader on Chris's side. He did take one from supernatural boost because Vader does not have boost on his action bar. So we're waiting for Andrew to make a decision. All right, makes a decision on that TIE fighter. There we go. That's probably the 4K. It is. Takes a stress. That Obsidian is currently locked by Vader, as you see there. He's looking for a stress token. There it is. There's the 5 forward we talked about. Just trying to get some space. Get some mods on defense. There's the evade. So as a reminder, evade is different in 2nd edition than 1st edition. An evade token simply changes a die to an evade result. When you want just a guaranteed evade, like I need at least one, that evade is going to do that for you. But what you can't do, let's say you had 3 dice and an evade token, and you throw natty 3s, you can't also spend the evade to add a 4th result. You would simply spend the evade to change an evade to an evade, which doesn't make any sense. So let's go ahead and get some of that stuff switched around here. That's Chris's. That one's Andrew's. Andrew here spending a force, getting some supernatural reflexes here. There's the barrel roll. As far back as possible. And probably getting the Talon roll. There it is. So we'll get a range 2 shot on the Obsidian. I forgot that they gave the advanced Talon roll. That's why I didn't suggest that one. So pretty much puts Vader and the Obsidian even. Here comes Chris's Vader. 1 bank that'll clear the stress. Drops a focus. And we have Andrew does shoot first. He's got the TIE fighter, what looks to be at range. Man, it's just barely range 1 or just out. And then Vader for sure at range 3. He's probably going at the TIE fighter. He has the TIE fighter locked. There's fire control system. Only 2 hits, and then uses advanced targeting computer to change it into a crit. And he doesn't roll any evades. He takes a crit, and that TIE fighter is down. So Chris is down just to supernatural Vader. Andrew's TIE fighter, I'm not sure it's taking any damage. Can't actually see, to be completely honest. Here's Vader at Andrew's Obsidian. Spend the focus plus ATC, advanced targeting computer, to get to its 2 crits and a hit. cock die somehow in a dice tray. There, crit, crit. TIE Fighter's gone, so that means he had one hull gone already. So we've brought it down to Supernatural Vader on Supernatural Vader. 24 minutes left. And I think the real question is here is just who's going to end ahead, right? Who's going to have more shields or hull? Essentially, Chris can, not guarantee, but he can very effectively just continuously arc dodge Andrew. Once he starts setting that up, Andrew might be able to get him on a couple of K turns and Talon rolls, where Chris can't get out if he didn't move fast enough. But we're going to have to see here how these guys play it out. It's going to be a great example of using tools available to your ship to get to different parts of the board, understanding range control and all that. I mean, with all these tokens that these ships have, I mean, this is completely down to variance and who is going to be able to burn through those tokens first. As for some of the possibilities for maneuvers here, Andrew is stressed, so he has the 1 bank. He also has the 2 forward. I'm not 100% on the 2 bank. But essentially, he's going to just try to line up shots here. The 1 bank isn't a bad move. There it is. Keeps his arc very wide. And just challenges Vader to get past that line while still getting a shot. I mean, Chris can definitely get out, but the question is, can he do it while getting a shot? Supernatural boost K-turn would get him, but then he's essentially giving Andrew a damage on Vader. Spends a force to do the barrel roll. And he's gonna crash into the other Vader. Looks like that was a 4 forward. No, it was a 4K. So he has a stress token out there. For some of our upcoming programming, we're going to be streaming tomorrow the North American Championships, but there will not be commentary during those games because I'm going to be playing in the event. So we should, if all goes well, have a table mic available to use. We were having some issues a couple days ago trying to test out the long-range table mic. We'll see if we can get it working tomorrow. And then on Saturday, just depending on who's available, we'll have some people available to talk and commentate for the cut. So hopefully you guys can join us there. We are starting tomorrow, I think at 9. That's what sounds right. I did post it up on the Facebook. So it looks like Chris is committed to his maneuver. Andrew just looking for a way to try to take advantage of Chris being stressed here. Obviously, Chris cannot supernatural this turn. He doesn't have that available to him. Come on in. Those are Josh's.
How's the game's been going?
They've been good. So we are in a supernatural Vader off. Chris
Really?
Allen won the initiative role, so Andrew is first player and has to move first. And the only
that's a big deciding factor.
Yeah, and the only damage that has happened is Chris hurt himself by doing a supernatural boost at one point to arc dodge a range one shot. So
That's fair.
Made sense. So Andrew doing the Talon roll there, just keeping the arc nice and wide. Should be seeing a stress token plop down here any second.
Are those acrylic?
Yeah, those are giant acrylic tokens.
Those are real tokens?
Yeah.
They're not superimposed on your screen?
No,
You just moved
those are
them,
real.
so
They're awesome.
That's ridiculous. Well, at least you won't forget about them.
Correct.
Is that a supernatural boost?
No, I think that's just the one bank to clear the stress.
Oh, okay, I see. Have you been seeing a lot of the supernatural into a Darth Vader action?
No, actually, I have not.
It uses up a lot of force, which is a huge resource.
Which maybe is the reason why we haven't seen it.
Force economy, especially on Darth Vader. On Luke, there's not a force economy.
No, there's not.
On Darth Vader, though, it means a lot.
Yeah, so Chris there working to get that range 3. And doesn't get it. It's going to be range 2. Avoids range 1. Well, that's good. The other, oops, I have these switched. This is, no, I had it right. Red is for Bunn, blue is for Chris. All right. Yeah, the other issue is that all three of them, both Vaders collected 3 tokens in the game. So they have double evade focus for one and double focus evade for the other.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I definitely, in this game mode, the tokens are ridiculous. Because I realized that you can, I would just set one up at range 1 in front of Luke, and then another one in range 1 of that, and a 4 forward boost picked up both.
Yep.
That's a little outrageous, but
I think the whole point of the format and being able to get all those tokens, I knew that the competitive players are going to do that, right? You're like, wait, I can just have as many tokens as I want. I'm just going to take them, right?
Yeah, I'm going to take these right away.
For sure. And at least it got us to play with the second edition rules for longer because it made the ships live longer, and you could actually play for the 60 minutes because things weren't dying. But you were, you were getting to move, use those action boosts, using the new charges and stuff like that, having to flip the force over and over again. Just getting used to all that.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it was designed that you would put them like in amongst the rocks, and you would go like looking for them, and it would draw each player to the center.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense, though. That's not how you would do that.
They'd probably tweak it for next time. I like this for new players. Like this is really good. Like all the new players.
It's the exact way to ease somebody into the game.
Yep.
When when we got to the last round, we were like, oh, regular asteroid deployments all of a sudden.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know about the placing tokens, but I think you should limit the... I don't know, not really. I guess you can put them anywhere.
So, Andrew going 2 forward. He's probably going to barrel roll here to try to cut off Chris. That gets rid of the stress. Decisions.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, even with, well, maybe not so much Andrew because he's got double evade, but still, a range 1 4 dice from Vader will strip all your shields.
Oh yeah,
and then some.
Yeah, the change to Darth Vader's the advanced targeting computer really ups his offensive power.
Now we discussed this in my second game, but has everybody been playing that if you started the attack with a target lock, you can still change it to a hit to a crit, or is it only if you still have the lock?
I've been seeing only if you still have the lock. Is there some wording in there that maybe gives it some wiggle room?
I mean, just the unfamiliarity of while attacking.
Yeah.
Whether that's like while you roll dice or whatnot. So you're saying that you roll the dice, you change one. If you naturally rolled one,
yeah,
you can change one to a hit. Or I guess you could modify with the focus first. But before you re-roll them, you would need to change it to a crit.
Yeah, that, or I'm not sure if you could do one or both. I don't know if there's a stipulation with no re-rolls. I don't have the Vader card here, so I'm not entirely sure.
While you are
locked
attacking a defender you have locked, you may roll an additional, or it's comma, after locked. You may roll an additional die and change one crit or one hit to a crit.
Okay. So I mean, you can. So modifiers you can do in any order you want. Correct. So then, I mean, if that's the wording, then you could hit to crit and then spend the target lock.
Okay. Interesting. It really doesn't matter how it's worded. It's really their intent.
Yeah.
With the card.
So looks like no supernatural on this one. 3 Harding. He can't avoid a shot here. He can get to range 3 if he wants.
He's going to need to get a shot. It's actually pretty good that the lower initiative are, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The Raider with initiative being able to get these shots in.
Yep.
He's got to strip that evade. That's step 1.
Yeah. Get it gone. Chris thinking through his options. He's spending a charge to do a afterburners boost. You can perform a boost after doing a 3, 4, or 5 speed maneuver. You got 2 charges on that. And he still has his normal action here if he wants to. So normal action is a focus. Also has Vader's ability if he wants it. And it looks like we're just going to take that range 2 shot.
They already have locks in each other.
Yeah,
they're sitting pretty good. There's not much you really need.
All right, here comes the fire control system. Spend the focus and change that to a crit because of advanced targeting computer. All right, it has to actually spend some of these tokens. There's the focus and one of the evades. So the evade got stripped.
There it is. Yep, Andrew's still got both of his evades now. So that one evade's pretty clutch.
And the other thing is, like in second edition, the evade action is essentially a shield that you have that turn. You get one additional, just like that's the kind of the way I'm looking at it. You just for that turn you have a shield.
How is that different than first then?
Well, in first you could stack it. Here, I guess you're right. It's maybe a less reliable shield because you can't always use it.
Yeah, I agree with you though that evades are so much better to deal with, I guess. Like when you're shooting somebody with an evade, because in first edition, when they had an evade, just throwing it on top I think in first edition it wasn't so much the evade; it was the combination of focus and evade.
Yes.
And I think that's really toned down in second edition.
Agreed.
Do you think Andrew's going to try to cut off the other Vader here?
I mean, you definitely try. I mean, he's doing a good job of. I like the supernatural boost, by the way. It just widens the arc on the turn.
Oh, I see what he's doing. He's barrel rolling backwards and then hardening in. Okay. So I was thinking cutting off in front, but yeah, you want to widen that arc. He's got him on running real low on probably out of afterburners, I assume by now.
Yeah, I mean, he does have, if Chris wants it, he has 1 afterburners left. He could get out by, 3 harding. 3 harding, and then either boosting to the right.
I mean, he's not taking shots, though.
Or straight, right?
I think you just K-turn here and get a shot.
Let's go ahead and just put a big X on that sign.
Yeah, I would assume maybe even oh, he doesn't have room to do the supernatural now. But I was saying, like, maybe even a Talon roll could arc dodge that, but I don't know. I don't think so.
It's going to bring him right on the line, I think.
Yeah. It's not as far as I think it is.
So he's going to try. He's allowed to try.
Does that burn his supernatural then?
I mean, I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't fit. He failed the action.
But he still should spend the force to do that, though. Is that right?
That sounds right to me. Right. Let's go ahead and pull up supernatural here. Before you activate, you may spend to perform it. Yeah, I mean, he should have spent it.
Sure did.
Chris Allen, cheating on stream.
Cheating on stream. Yep. So, this will be his second force charge that he spent, technically.
Yep.
Yeah, probably the best rule in X-Wing right now.
Yeah,
is to you failed it. You pay your cost up front, and
yep.
You have to see where it lands. Though I think lock is so much better. Lock is
yeah,
great now.
Just being able to lock, see everything, and then make the decision.
Yep. I was shooting proton torpedoes, so like, all right, I'll lock the guy at range 2.
All right, so here's Bunn's shot. He has the focus. There's 3, and change 1 to a crit. Natties, baby. Yeah, right now they're playing a do-si-do.
I mean, Andrew's getting shots. So
he is.
There's something said for that. You can't win if you don't shoot.
So we'll probably continue to see Andrew do that supernatural barrel roll back and just trying to widen the arc. What in the world is he doing? I don't know what just happened. It's been a long night. People are tired. Trying to save some mental capacity for tomorrow. The true competition.
We'll see. I don't know. Last time I saw Chris Allen flying Ghost Finn, so I don't think he'll need it.
So we got 5 minutes left in the round. Most likely these Vaders won't die. It is important, though, like, let's say this wasn't a this threat card level, because essentially they'll just final salvo and they'll determine the winner that way.
Right.
But the fact that Chris does have less health brings him closer to that half health mark that is going to be super important in X-Wing, where if you get half health, you get half the points. And especially Vader, he's going to be worth like 70 something.
Oh,
total.
Way more than that.
Right? So just all kitted out. So hey, if you can get half Vader, it's going to be worth it.
I thought he was 70 base.
Is he 70 base?
I'm pretty sure. Pretty
so,
sure it's like 77
So 80,
base.
80 and something? Or who
Easily.
he knows. All right, so there's that supernatural barrel back.
That's
And
so
hard
good.
to. It's extremely good.
I'm excited to see, well, maybe not to play against him, but I'm excited to see Inquisitors with supernatural reflexes, or even those, the Grand Inquisitor as well. That should be very interesting because they can actually do that pre-boost.
Yes. Yeah, because it's on their their action bar. So Vader's out. Chris doing the correct move, right? Tournament wise, you're just trying to get out.
Go to the final. Try to go for final.
Yep.
If he, can't boost out of there. The barrel roll wouldn't help.
All right, so that's range 3.
Man, Andrew
Natties,
just
okay.
getting it.
2 hits and a crit.
He's got 4 dice.
Chris does have a focus available to him. And the force, spend the focus, takes no damage. So what was your impression of all the 2.0 stuff that you saw here, Will?
I will say that ion cannon, bombs on Y-Wings, that's really good. Because, well, I think just bombs, reveal bombs have gotten a big buff because more ships have reload. I think that is huge. It can't be understated that a Y-Wing could just shoot the ion turret out its back and drop a bomb and reload. Shoot the ion out the back, drop a bomb.
You don't want to chase a Y-Wing.
Well, if you're ionized, you don't have much choice. You don't have much choice in that matter. So I think that's strong. We'll see. I like how mines have been toned down.
Yeah.
But bombs, which are good, it's nice to see the things that should be good are still good, like ion and the reveal bombs.
Yes.
The force is amazing. That's not to be understated. I think with the points that they released, they are clearly aware of that points are force is really good.
You're paying for it. You're absolutely paying for it. I think you're going to have to pay more for it. It's going to go up, most likely.
Luke is going to increase in price. I'm going to tell you this much right now. Though he only has 2 agility.
Yep.
So, and I was playing them with evade tokens today, so maybe that maybe that helped out. But yeah, Luke's super good.
Range 3 through a rock here.
Most secondary weapons, every proton torpedo. The cluster missile's almost worthless, but we're not playing in the correct meta for him.
Right, exactly.
Let's see if he gets it. Nope, denied.
Minute 50 left.
So they got, what, maybe a round or 2.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? Vader with Supernatural is very good because he can basically linked. It's advanced sensors push.
Yeah.
But it uses 2 force charges, and you only get 1 back around. So it's not an everyday, or it's not an every round ability, which is fair.
Yep. And yeah, you're paying for it with, like you talked about earlier, that force economy. Like if you tap yourself out too early, you're SOL.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Same thing with the afterburners. I really think the afterburners is, if you have a free mod slot and points, you should put afterburners on there. More so if you have hard 3 whites.
Yes, that's huge. I mean, the amount of ground that you can cover, it's just like the hard turn plus the boost. Just to be able to get around somebody's arc, it's a big deal.
Yeah, so I think afterburners is going to be really good. If we were playing, we need to start a. I don't care enough about news to know who the guy who presses buttons and screams about stocks is. But we need to start a segment of like buy low, sell high.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why that top secret Gold Squadron doc that I've been working on.
Oh yeah,
that's what that's for.
Yeah, buy low,
Yeah.
sell high.
Yep.
Afterburners, buy now.
Buy now.
Because they're going up.
Yeah, buy. And here's the interesting thing, talking about Luke Skywalker. Part of the their points going up or down is also dependent on popularity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if Luke isn't getting enough play, they may not increase him at all. And that's when we might see him more, especially because I think Vader is going to be the preferred Force user at first.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's more sexy, right? He's the Dark Lord. A lot of people just like that ability to do that supernatural reposition.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you technically can do it on Luke as well, you just don't have as many force charges. So
no, I think honestly, I want to see it on the table. But so read me supernatural again.
Yeah. So supernatural.
Is it when you activate or before my dial?
It's when you reveal your dial, I believe. Got a stack of cards in front of us here for 2nd edition.
I want to compare 2 cards.
Okay, so before you activate. So
now
before
read me the servo motors.
Ooh.
This is what I'm saying. This is the combo I'm looking at.
2, there it is. Before you activate.
So these are the same triggers, is what you're telling me.
Yes.
So Luke can supernatural boost, open his wings.
Not take a damage. Yes.
Oh, it does action bar? Or supernatural action bar. Now it would be maybe
it's added. It's added to your action bar though, isn't it?
Or does that upgrade have an action? See, that's the rule I'm looking for.
Okay,
we'll
have
to
ask.
Is this still your action bar, or is the action bar what you start with? I guess it would make more sense. Action bar is what you started with, and this is an upgrade with actions.
Okay.
So maybe that combo doesn't work, but not. I mean, it could because of R2D2. You can get that shield back.
That's very true. Yeah, we'll ask when we're done. That's actually a great question.
I think it makes sense that it wouldn't be on your action bar. There's an action on an upgrade.
Right.
Wouldn't be your action bar, but it's worth expressing. I'm sure it's in the rules reference. Did you see that they dropped that?
Yes. I actually.
What do they get for final salvo? Are they still rolling it?
I have no idea what they're doing. Are they done? They weren't going to kill each other.
Double blank.
I think
that was
Chris wins the final salvo.
Oh, two. There it is. So guess what? Running for time, if you're above half points,
works, right?
Is 2.0.
So
Sorry, I'm inappropriate here.
I forgot to put your shirt. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Will, thanks for hanging out here this last half hour. I want to remind you, this week we still have a ton of content coming. Tomorrow we're going to be playing in the North American Championship, so we won't have any commentary, but we will be streaming. We'll have table audio. That'll be all set. We'll respectfully ask people to try to put the cards in a spot where you guys can see them, but most likely we won't be updating stats and all that stuff just because we're going to be in the trenches. Then on Saturday, when we get to day 2 and the cut, just depending on where everybody is, that's where we'll start shuffling things around, see who's available to commentate. We'll get you guys somebody to be able to get the stats and stuff like that. I'm excited to play tomorrow, to be in some competition.
This is today was like well, you're a father. You've been in the delivery room, right?
Yeah. Yes, I have been.
This is today has been that moment, but tomorrow's going to be a long like a funeral parade.
Correct.
It's going to be one of those real slow funeral parades. Yeah, maybe that parade is going to be faster or shorter.
The pizza place is gonna close, so we have to find food somewhere else.
Okay, I didn't know we were trying to get pizza.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
He's so hungry. He's so hungry.
Crates on top.
No.
Crates on top.
No.
Prove it tomorrow.
Oh, this is. Ben's like, wait, what am I flying?
Too scared.
So again, we'll be back tomorrow. I think we start tomorrow at 9. It's super early.
I hope it's early.
Check-in is at 9, I believe. Check-in is at 9. Dice at 10. Again, we'll post. I think I made a post on Facebook already. And again, can't go without saying thank you to Curl Paw Creatives for sponsoring our stream this weekend here at Gen Con. We have our exclusive coupon code right there. Gencon 18 becomes active tomorrow for $10 off of a $50 order. You can get an entire token set. That set that's up on the screen right now, plus the target lock set, which includes the single, double turrets and just the ship markers for your target locks, all for $45, just all together with that coupon.
Wait, you're talking about there's acrylic ship or acrylic arc tokens?
Yeah, he made them, and they're
that
super.
Paul.
They're super snug. You can of course use it on
Here they are right
templates
there.
as well. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that looks slick.
They're super nice, and yeah. So I'm super excited about those. I already have a couple sets on order. I got us a special set on order for us. So we got that coming. So, and he does special orders too. So hit him up. Maybe he'll consider letting you. Oops, other side. Use the coupon code for it. So again, that's active tomorrow. Thank you to our Twitch Prime subscribers for clicking that button. It's literally free money. And to our Patreon subscribers, because without you guys, none of this is possible. All of the travel expenses, and most importantly, paying for internet, because that's the biggest cost. All right, everybody. I'm Dion.
I'm Will.
Gold Squadron out.